Hello everyone, today I'm gonna teach you attention economics. So earlier we studied about the definition of attention economics, about Goldhaber, about Simon, and then we studied about the hypothesis of the scarcity problem. We studied about globalization, how it means to open up the economy for the foreign trade to other countries. Also, we studied about what is bias, that is a natural inclination towards something. And trade off is to give up something to get something. Now, what does rationality means? Rationality is consistency in choice, and a whole branch of behavioral economics has been developed by it. Now, entering a shopping mall, there are thousands of products for customers to choose from. How do you choose what is healthy? How do you scan through all the information written on the labels? Now, you see, we have initially we had barcodes, then they developed to RIFDs, and now we have got QR codes. So the difference is from only scanning of prices, it has been developed to a new era of technology where we can just explore the menus, the websites, a whole information about a personality by just a single scan. So, how can rationality be there in such vast information era? How can there be attention to all the information that is available? So the difference between what should be and what is has become more prominent today. And if we want to, by any chance, approximate the attention curve with the subjective definition or the traditional definition of supply function, demand function, with having an attention curve would be very difficult, but it can be approximated to a locus of selective subjectivity. Now let's study about data value chains and how we need to redefine the definition of supply chains so that we can cope up with this digital transformation and the exponential growth that is happening in the technological fields, where you can get deliveries at a click, you can get information at a click, you can get customizations at just a click or just a call. So yeah, now looking for the current state of affairs, trade tensions, geopolitical conflicts, and what do you say, cyber attacks, inflation, high capital costs have come hot on the heels with global pandemic. As outlined in the World Economic Forum's top 10 concerns are, like, top 5 are climate and ecosystem change, and after that being like sixth being the adverse AI outcomes and misinformation and cybersecurity, and so last being the pollution, and this is the predictions for the next 10 years. This is somewhat in align this is somewhat aligning with this Harvard Stanford Business School's book, Prima Crisis, by yeah, Mr. I don't know, it's Mr. or Doctor, but yeah, the co-authors Gordon Brown and Mohammed El Irian. So here they are dealing with the insecurities of the overlapping crisis and everything that is just moving at a very fast rate. So data refers to raw, unprocessed facts, information and figures collected from various sources. Now data can be in form of number, text, images, audio, video, capture. Um, that is also data. Barcodes data, then identification data, voice identification, face recognitions, fingerprints, everything is data. So it can be quantitative, it can be qualitative. And variable is the attribute that measures the data. So Michael Porter in 1985, he was the one who proposed this that value chain is a tool for identifying ways to create more value for businesses. Basically it was for the businesses, but in the disruptive era today, networked organizations have cross functional teams and they excel in value supply chains by integrating technology and data. So this was a study from Kellogg's management school. Yeah. So they pointed out that rethinking the organizational model, including upskilling and digital investment, enables these teams to connect planning, sales, and customer services, maximizing value and responding effectively to the constant changing markets. So yeah, it was by Oliver Grant from Kellogg's Schools of Management, and his article was named A Qualitative Perspective on E-commerce Trends and Supplier Relationship Dynamics. So he writes about the impact of AI, blockchain, and analytics on operational efficiency, consumer engagement, and supply chain transparency. He says that personalized shopping, fast delivery, data security, these are the keys for customer management and value creation in the uh, customers value creation. So he also talks about sustainability, responsible sourcing, and carbon neutral goals, which are gaining importance. So he talks about how globalization offers a market expansion opportunities with regulatory and logistic challenges. Also, they, I guess it was Doom School or of Commerce or University of Petroleum and Energy Studies that offered around 10 or 15 years back. They offered this logistic management course, which was at that time it was very competitive, but few enrollments could happen because people were not aware what is logistics, why do we need logistics. So strong supply, he talks about strong supplier relationships, and he also talks about how these data value chains and supervised and unsupervised learning models contribute to a redefined developed AI driven sustainable supply chains. So he's kind of trying to align the technological growth system, the consumer behaviors, and how this leadership in e-commerce would soon be changing its dynamics. So when we talk about the behavioral insights of these, so the I would like to draw your attention towards the growth of FMCGs, the fast moving consumer goods. That had been a hot topic in last 5 years. People were like, these supply chains have been driven by e-commerces and advancements, and how the data driven decision making has lead to the transformation of the operational efficiency. These consumers are being engaged, supplied with various products, and they had an historic focus on the speed, volume, and costs. So the FMCG is one of the examples that I could really think about when I was uh, studying the data value chains and how we can redefine them in economic terms for the supply chains. And there have been a geopolitical scenario where various debates have been there for how or which country is competing for money, which company is competing for power, how is the republics of China, UK, US, and European governments have been trying to access different markets. And so, how is this all data that is in abundance collected? So it goes from clicks, clickbaits to eye tracking system, click streams, scroll speeds, dwell time, engagement time. Like in Netflix, you have got a completely customized feed for four family members or for five family members. Even there is some synchronization, but not to that extent. Now they go from micro targeting to the macro targeting. How does that happens? I'm just giving this reference of Netflix documentary of the social dilemma. It talks about the impact of social media on society, which is closely related to attention economics and the platform economics, and how the behavioral economics also work. So it's like a kind of a digital experience. There is another one Black Mirror that we had a global level meeting once, and so this guy from Europe came, and he was like, I don't remember, he was from Europe or USA, and he was like, it's done by a publishing company, you do not need to worry about it. So you see, there are tech experiences, there are insider things, ethical concerns, and every bit of this shapes a business model. And these business models and these businesses also influence economy as a whole, because economy is something that moves on like our life moves on. So this is like a lot of things that have been developed at the cost of users' well-being. But as we know, platform connects vast amount of data, and they had this field of big data analytics, which include using patterns, emotional reflects, tastes, and patterns, how you get preferences, ridership preferences, cost competition in cab industries, and language preferences, and other personalized content. So algorithms are continuously processing data. For whom? For platforms. And the data that is processed by algorithms that is available on platforms, it is being done for whom? Humans. So at the end of it, humans have a role to play. Then where is this data being stored? I have so much of data, quantum computers and big computers, big data warehouses has developed to cloud storages. And then how come there are multiple nodes or servers or computers or devices where data is available? So all this drives our attention towards very important kind of natural language processors, data mining technologies, how to segregate this data, how to get away the garbage files, and just work upon the learning algorithms, the rate of learning. How can the trends be identified, information be identified to user interests and user patterns? So these are all the things that have developed to data monetization. Now, this data monetization is done for these firms who have got a fortune by targeting advertising, sponsored content, affiliated marketing, data licensing. And there is kind of a market that has developed, and one of the concerns that is right now is with internet there was an externality. We'll study about the market externalities in upcoming lectures. So a negative externality of web was dark web. Now, negative externality of AI is very difficult to be determined. So next we will learn about the natural language processing, text analysis, content analysis, sentimental analysis. Now the topic modeling would be around that. I would try to include the content analysis of that Johnny Depp. I remember the case. I'll just check with the comments on the social media. And then we'll also learn about the ML, supervised, unsupervised learning models, and what is the reinforcement learning, a little bit of behavioral insight, a psychological field where Pavlov was there. And also we'll learn about ad tech models, ad placements, UI and UX designing, and how they have, like, normally food apps use this red, orange, these colors uh, tend to stimulate hunger. So how are these reinforcement learnings being personalized as marketing strategy? So that's all for today. Okay, bye bye.